Lessons, a community of spouses. Listen, Coach T here with you this evening. I wanted to come and share a word of encouragement with you. Having spoken with you guys in a few days, and I wanted just to stop by as we prepare for the month of February and share some things with you. As always, I come on daily as a reminder that God is for your marital covenant. Even when it seems like he's not, he is. Matthew 19:6 remind us what God has joined together, let not man separate. Doesn't matter what it look like, feel like, seem like. Presently, God is for your marital covenant. And so today, I want to speak to my singles or my engagement couples, the ones that are in route or have made a decision or is getting ready to propose. I want to speak to you today. And I know my topic may seem very harsh and very rude and very mean, but somebody has to speak the truth. Somebody has to give us, the new generation, a reality check, all right? And so I want to come on here briefly and share that with you. As a marriage life coach, one of the things I emphasize in my premarital sessions is the importance of why premarital counseling or why premarital guidance is so important. So let me just give you a little background. I am a Hallmark chick to the core, okay? I don't watch any other channel on cable because my son said people don't watch cable no more. But I still have cable for the specific reason of the Hallmark channel. I watch the Hallmark channel and I watch Uplifted. Like, those are my channels. And so I am a Hallmark girl. I would sit in front of the TV all day long and watch a show after a show after a show, knowing what the end result is going to probably end up being, but I'm still watch it. That's just me. I've always been that way. Even as a young girl growing up, I've always loved like the love stories and the happy endings and, how everything was going to plan out and things are so perfect and this is life and this is how it's supposed to be when you get married. Listen, Coach T is guilty of that. That has always been me. So when I got married, of course, I had an awakening moment where it's like, this don't look nothing like what I thought marriage was supposed to be like. Of course, also, I did not take premarital guidance. And so this is why premarital guidance is so important to me and so personal to me, because I feel like if I would have knew half of what I learned in my marriage covenant, I would have been better prepared. And so this is why I highly recommend premarital counseling for couples that are making the decision to get married. So, the reason I have that as my title, marriage is not a picket fence. It's not just a picket fence. It's more to that. When you make a decision to get married, and I'm sharing this because, like I said, February is right around the corner. Like, this is like the last holiday that people, before, we start all over again, that people start doing proposals and making a decision to get married. And so this is why I want to share that with you. It is very, 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 very important that you know your niche. For your marital covenant. Now, that's not a word that people use normally, but as coaches, that is one of the words that we use. What is your niche? What is your niche? What's your specialty? You need to know what is your niche in your marital covenant. When two people come together, you are two not half people, but you're two whole people. And that's important for you to know at the door. You need to be already whole coming into the marital covenant. Two whole people coming together to do what? Yes, you're going to do life together. Yes, you're going to may have children. You're going to buy a home. You're going to do some investments. You're going to travel. You're going to have date nights. You're going to go places together. You're going to have arguments. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to make love. You're going to cook together. You're going to go on vacation together. Yes, you're going to do all those things. But what else? But what else? Because there is more to life than just the picket fence, our home, me and my four, no more. This is how we do. This is how it goes. We're going to do our routine. You know, the kids are going to go to the football games. We're going to, support our children with the football games. And we're going to go to the soccer games. And we're going to pack lunches. And, we're going to go on field trips with the kids. And me and my husband, we're going to, put together this fork in the back of our home. And that's going to be our project for that time. Marriage is so much more than the picket fence, the basic, the 1, 2, 3, we got nice jobs, we wear nice clothes, we doing pretty good for ourselves. What is your niche? What is your niche? And I bring that up for couples as if you are preparing to get married. What is your niche for your marital covenant? I heard recently that making a decision to marry somebody and choosing that person is almost like making the best business deal that you would ever make in life. So when you choose somebody to marry, you are in sensual making a decision to create a business. Marriage is like a business. You are going to build your marriage on a business. So the question becomes, what is your niche? What is your plans for your marriage? What do you want your marriage to look like? What type of things that you want to do in your marriage? Do you have any specific goals going into your marital covenant? Do the wife is going to do this? Are you going to do this? Are you guys going to build together? Are you guys going to grow together? What is your purpose for your marriage? So many people get married thinking that it's just the basic things. We're going to lay in the bed all day. We're going to hold hands. I'm going to text you. You're going to call me. I'm going to tell you I love you. We're going to give each other hugs and kisses. And all those things are part of marriage. All those things are part of marriage. But that's not the only thing that marriage is. Once you get your pretty nice wedding dress and you set your nice venue up for your wedding ceremony and you get things all pretty and fancy and you should, that is a part of the marital ceremony. And you dress up and you look all pretty and you look all nice and you get those things and you go down that aisle and you say your vows for those 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. And then you say I do, and now you have your big celebration. You guys are doing your fancy dance that you practice for your reception and everything is so beautiful and pretty. And now you gotta go home with each other. What's next? After you come back from the honeymoon and you've had your 3 days to look in each other's eyes and glaze at each other and fantasize about what tomorrow's gonna bring and eat off of each other's spoons, then what? This is why, in my personal opinion, I believe why marriages are failing, because people are not aware of what the marital covenant is all about. When you make a decision to get married, you're not just making a decision to marry another person. You are making a decision to marry God. You are making a decision to marry God. God is the creator of marriages. God is the creator of marriages. And so in doing so, you in a sense put on his character. You in a sense put on what he represents. You in a sense put up what God is saying, okay, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, I need you to do this. One of the best things that you can do for your marital covenant as you're preparing for marriage and before you say I do and as you prepare to set up for your wedding day, one of the best things you can do is sit down together as fiancés, before you become husband and wife, go on a fast together, pray together, talk to God. God, what would you have our marriage be? God, what is it that you would want us to do? Lord, what is it that you're preparing us for? Lord, what is your desire for our marital covenant? What is it that you want us to do? And every marriage is different. Some marriages they go on mission trips together and they work in ministry together. Some marriages, they build a foster home or they adopt children. Some marriages are they go and they take care of their family members and take care of their parents. Some marriages are actually building businesses and doing things in the business world, where they're actually coming up with some type of trade or coming up with some type of business thing that they can do in their marriage. Some couples are doing the, hey, we got the kids, we're gonna go to Disney, we're gonna do the family tree thing, and we're gonna do this. You have to know what your plan is going into the marital covenant. And so for the month of February, I will be promoting in my Buoyancy coaching, with my Buoyancy coaching services, I will be promoting Premarital Guidance. Premarital Guidance. This is the booklet, and this is what it looks like. I do a online 6-week course. It's a 6-week online course about the premarital guidance to help you prepare for the marital covenant. Before you say I do, you need to take Buoyancy Premarital Guidance course. Before you say I do, you want to take this course. This course is going to help you better prepare you for the marital covenant. Life is not just the white picket fence. It is so much more. So much more than that. And so all month long, I'm going to be sharing and talking about premarital guidance, and why premarital guidance is so important for future generations, why premarital guidance is so important for our children, why premarital guidance is so important for us to share with the next generation. People are failing because they're not prepared for the marital covenant. And so some of the other services that I just wanted to bring to your attention that Buoyancy offer, we also do marriage check-ins, which I feel like is a necessity. Just like we have our regular oil changes, and just like we go to our annual physicals, and just like we go and, we get our hair did, or we have a fancy self-care day or whatever, I feel like every marital couple needs a marriage check-in day. Every marital couple needs a marriage check-in day. Listen, I feel like the best time to have a marriage check-in day is 3 to 6 months after you have made that decision to say I do. It's 3 to 6 months after you have gotten into the marital covenant. That's the best time to come and say, hey, we need to come talk to a coach. We want to just, keep each other accountable. We want to make sure that we're on the same track. Want to make sure that we're on the same page, that we are in alignment with each other. Marriage check-ins is one of the best, most healthiest things a married couple can do for themselves. Because doing those check-ins, in a sense, it helps you or prevent for things to come later on. So if something come up you didn't know about or whatever, at least you have these check-ins like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know you felt that way. Or, oh, okay, I didn't know, we hadn't got away from that. Or, oh, okay, I didn't know that this was something that was bothering you. Marriage check-ins is prevention. Just like our physicals, just like our regular oil change, marriage check-ins is prevention. It's prevention. I also do sessions on pursuing the non-compliant spouse. Pursuing the non-compliant spouse. So a lot of people say, yeah, what does that mean? What do you mean pursuing the non-compliant spouse? Well, sometimes in a marriage, injuries take place, wounds take place. Some type of injury has taken place in the marital covenant, and maybe one spouse has, made a decision like, I ain't doing this no more. I done checked out. Even if I'm there physically, I'm not there with you, connecting with you intimately. I'm not there with you emotionally. I have checked out. I have left the building. I'm no longer here. Or someone may have physically left the home and is no longer in there, but the other spouse is still willing to pursue their marital covenant. They're at a place where God has not given them the okay to divorce their spouse, and they're saying, I'm going to go all the way and see what God's plan is for me. This is what pursuing the non-compliant spouse does. These are sessions that I have with spouses in reference to that. Then we have the marriage restoration and healing. Marriage restoration and healing comes in when you don't have your marriage check-ins. That's how that goes. You don't have a marriage check-in, you're going to have some marriage restoration and healing that needs to take place. Now, not saying that other things won't come up that, may prevent it even if you are having the check-ins. Not saying life happens. People change, things are constantly changing. Ecclesiastes tells us it's a time for everything. It's a time for everything. So, not saying that you necessarily have to have the marriage check-ins, because if you don't have marriage check-ins, you can prevent that from having marriage restoration and healing things. No, that's not what I'm saying. I feel like you need both. And so sometimes marriage and hurt, pain, suffering, something has happened in the marital covenant that needs healing. One of the worst things you can do in your marital covenant is know that you have a problem. Know that you have a problem and you make a decision to sit on it. Sweep it under the rug. Ignore it. Turn your head. Don't look at it no more. Just act like it doesn't exist. That is the worst thing you can do for your marriage. That's one of the worst things you can do. So those are some of the sessions that I have with couples. Then I have the relationship rescue sessions. And these I normally cater to my singles. These are for the ones who are in a dilemma where they're trying to figure out, should we pursue this relationship and see about marriage and see about premarital guidance? Are we ready for marriage? Are we ready to take that next step? Are we ready to do what we need to do? Or should we go our own separate ways? Should we just go ahead and call it quits? Should we go ahead and just, quit wasting each other's time? Should we just go ahead and say, you know what? I'm not going to do this no more. I think we done ran our course with this. We're going to go ahead and just bring this to an end. This is what relationship rescue sessions are about. I help couples and individuals decide if they are ready for marriage. I coach them and go over some basic strategies. I have some assessments and questionnaires that I kind of talk to them and talk them through to see if they're ready for marriage or to see if we're gonna just go ahead and just call it quits. All right. Then of course I also do wedding ceremonies and wedding vow renewals for husband male and wife female. So we have several different wedding ceremonies that we do and that I could help you with as well. But then I also do the Christian mentoring. And this is for the ones who are just in a position where they want to live a healthier, better lifestyle and try to find their way back to Christ. And so that's what that is. That's what that is. I am rooting for my premarital couples. I am rooting for you. One of the things that I dealt with for so many years, for so many days and nights, and struggled with it was, oh my God, I wish I would have known what I know now about marriage before I said I do. I beat myself up over that. I went through a grieving and I just had a big moment like, oh my God, I married the wrong doggone person, Jesus. Like, what in the world I done did? I done married the wrong person. When you say I do and you make a decision to get married, you are now right. Covenant makes you right. Covenant makes it right. It's very important, spouses, that you get wisdom, that you get understanding before entering into the marital covenant. And it's not just, oh, we're going to talk about conflict, or we're going to talk about the children, or we're going to talk about, our in-laws, or we're going to talk about, communication, or we're going to talk about money. All those things are important. But one of the biggest things that people just overlook, and I don't know why, because marriage is a spiritual covenant, but one of the biggest things people overlook is the spiritual part of marriage. The spiritual part of marriage needs to be discussed. The spiritual part of marriage needs to be discussed. And so if you are in the season of wedding bells, if you are in the season and you are preparing for marriage and you or you are making a decision or thinking about making a decision to ask someone to marry you, listen, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. Before you say I do, make a decision and do premarital guidance. Marriage is not just a white picket fence. It is so much more. And when you enter into the marital covenant, you want to know exactly what are you doing? What are you going to do going into the marriage covenant? What is your niche for your marital covenant? This is an extra one. This is a bonus. Know your purpose. Know what God has called you to do before you make a decision to spend the rest of your life with somebody. Know what God has called you to do. We have our individual purposes. We have things that we're supposed to do with our spouses. We have things we're supposed to do with our families. Know what God has called you to. This will make getting married a whole lot easy as well too. Know what God has called you to before you make a decision to say I do. I hope this message has been a blessing to you. Blessings.